Ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about WWE 2K26 because there's some stuff that they're doing once again that I'm just not on board with, and we need to go on ahead and talk about it, man, because this content just feels old, and I don't know, man, it's just tough. It's just tough, and I need to talk about it. I need to get it off my chest, so let's go on ahead and do that. If you guys have been enjoying the content, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go on ahead and get into it. First things first, the one thing that I want to look at is live events. As always, y'all, we know that the live events is what they do. Not really that many, but we do see that Sol Ruca is very, very close to getting obtained for the Diamond Reward. We now have an Amethyst Stephanie Vaquer, and now we also have a War General, so we have that as well with the actual free pack. And then we got Sheamus that you can get with Ken Shamrock, which is actually pretty dope. And as you guys know, there's already tons of live events that you can go on ahead and get done. So just something to keep in mind. And live events this year, they have been pretty cool. They haven't been bad. I won't tell y'all that they've been bad. You know, I think that they have been, you know, pretty decent. They had a rough start with the casket matches, but so far, I don't really see much people complaining about it. It could be because people are just giving up and they don't care to do this. Or it could also be because people are genuinely just not having as much trouble, right? If you guys are still having trouble with the live events, let me know down below so we can go on ahead and talk about that. And one thing I've been noticing in World Tour that I think is an issue is how Las Vegas has Elite Undertaker. You go to Atlanta, right? And it has Elite Jimmy Uso. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this is what I'm not playing World Tour for. You know, I'm just not. The Seth Rollins, that's pretty cool because, like, who doesn't want Seth Rollins? Elite The Rock in Dallas, right? And then you got the CM Punk. Like, I don't know, man. I can't get behind, you know, the rewards in World Tour this year. Like, I like what they're doing with the updates, but Elite Jade Cargill, like, Elite Seth Rollins, like, am I really going to play all this time and dedicate all this time to get models that I've already seen in the game before? Like, I believe that Elite Seth Rollins was in the game last year, you know? And it's just one of those things where I kind of just go with the flow till I see something that I really don't like, and I'm like, man, you know, World Tour is really one of those modes that I really liked last year, but it had personas worth a damn. And this year there are some personas, but it's very minimal to the Mattel personas. It feels like, all right, we didn't have nowhere to dump these Mattel persona cards at. Now let's go on ahead and just dump them in World Tour. And again, I know you get coins, you get packs, but for me, the biggest motivation last year were persona cards. I don't know if people feel the same way that I do. Again, I don't expect everybody to feel the same way I do because everybody's entitled to their different opinion. But I really was hoping to see a little bit more of that this year, more than what I've seen already with the Elite cards, right? Because you look at the fact that, you know, you have so many persona cards that have been in the game prior and they are in packs for money. It would have been dope to see like that John Cena in World Tour, right? Like, do that instead of putting it in packs. That's just the way I look at it. But let's go on ahead and get into the next part of this video because the card market has been updated again. And we need to talk about it because Finn Balor, the persona card, is now available. Jey Uso, which I got on my PlayStation, now available. And all of these persona cards are now available. They are a bit cheaper because of the update that we spoke about last week. But that's really where we're at. CM Punk, Undertaker, these are all cards that we've already seen before. But there was a complaint about that Seth Rollins persona card that came out was not good. Apparently his toes was sticking out through the actual shoe, and it just was not complete. And honestly, when you are wanting money for something or just currency in general, I do feel that all of that should be complete. Some people that know more about video games in terms of like the inner ends and what goes on with game development just said that they ported Seth Rollins and they didn't do anything to him. Again, I don't know how true that is. If it's not fixed yet, hopefully it gets fixed soon and it's a priority. He does have his old theme song and he has some pretty cool stuff attached to him. But again, the model not being ready and you seeing the foot through the shoe and all that crazy stuff, I don't know, man. That's crazy. So hopefully they do work on that. But time to get into these packs. We got Amethyst Goldberg, Amethyst Gunther, we got Rhea Ripley, we got Ken Shamrock, we got Becky Lynch 2017 Persona card, we got Carmelo Hayes 2022, Natalia, Solo Sikoa Tribal Chief. So I'm actually not mad at some of these personas. Like Carmelo Hayes 2022, I'll take that, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that. Natalia, I'm sure that the women fans and they will love a Natalia. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's a cool one, and the fact that they made them both sapphires so they can make them attainable to pull, dope. But this Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, that's where, you know, I was a little bit upset, you know, when I first saw this. Rhea Ripley 17. This is something that I believe we seen 3 years ago. That was WWE 2K23, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been 24. I believe it was 24, actually. We saw Rhea Ripley get in there, and now she's being resold again. That, to me, I just can't get behind that, y'all. And I haven't been behind that all year. That's why I try not to spend money on my faction, because certain things that are being done, I just can't get excited about, bro. You know, like, and I was talking with some creators. I can't get excited to cover content that I've already seen for 2 years in a row, y'all. Sometimes 3. That's like the biggest negative about my faction this year, in my opinion, that a lot of the Persona cards we've seen already were in last year and were in the year before. It's basically old content repackaged for WWE 2K26. That's like the biggest slap in the face to a lot of people that already spent money for it. And that's that. And I get it. You got Ultimate Team modes where people buy the same card every year. But my faction is so much different than from all those Ultimate Team modes. It just is. And I'm just so tired of seeing the same old recycled content. And again, I don't want to say recycled, right? Because the content, for the most part, is solid. It's good attires. But I don't want to pay for it again. That's the problem. Like, there's so many things. You know what I mean? Like, it just needs to be better. Let's go on ahead and take a look at the collection rewards before we get up out of here, y'all. We got the Art of War. We got Cody Rhodes 2022. This is a Persona card that we've been seeing for since 2K24, if I'm not mistaken. And it's been sold every year since. Cody Rhodes 2022, you need Goldberg, Randy Savage, Solo Sikoa, and that's what it is here on my end, y'all. I'm not the biggest fan. I do think that this should have been something that should have been available elsewhere. I do like this Cody Rhodes model because it's hard. You can sell injuries. You can do so many cool things with this model. So, again, it's not a knock on the models that they're putting out. It's more so the approach on how we get these cards that I'm a little bit upset at, you know? So, Cody Rhodes 2022, I am a fan. I like it. I don't think that it is a bad Persona card. I just hate that it's locked behind a collection reward. I hate that a lot of these things are locked behind paywalls and collection rewards, and it's things that we've absolutely had before, right? So, hopefully, again, the approach as time goes on and they continue to figure out this My Faction thing changes a bit. But I will say that it is a bit disappointing seeing week after week cards that we've seen before and attires that we've seen before locked behind the game. If you guys have been enjoying the content, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. You guys have been enjoying. I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.